What is up, YouTube? As always, I am shooting on the Insta 360 Go because this is part of the Insta vlog series. So, on Between Two Props yesterday, Mad Chilla, Chad's a good friend of mine, is also a genius when it comes to editing, rendering footage, and everything like that. Pointed out that video that I posted of that dive in Long Island City had some weird jello in it, and I went over it again, and he's right. So I couldn't figure out what it was initially because the tune felt very good, but it was definitely there. So I took a couple of steps in order to fix this problem. That way future shots that I take with this camera come out in better quality, because I know what this camera is capable of. I have shot excellent quality video with this camera, and I know that it was not being used to its potential. So the first thing I did was I changed all 4 arms on the Alien, because these arms were old, and I think that the layers of carbon started to separate a little bit, because there seems to be a little bit of flex in a couple of them. So first thing I did was I changed all 4 arms. So I got 4 brand new arms, so it's a lot more stiff now, which is good, a lot more rigidity. And the next thing I'm doing is I'm 3D printing a custom soft mount to give me a clean, dirty setup. So we're going to take a look at the mount on Thingiverse, and after it's printed, we're going to go outside and get some test footage. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's a quick shot of the mount that I came up with, and as you can see, it's quite different than the mount I had. This is the mount I had. It's basically this top piece, but by itself, and it was just sitting on the top plate like this. And it was only mounted in front, not the back, so I think there was a little bit of vibration I was getting on the back end of it. And it was also hard mounted onto the frame. So the way I designed this now, as you can see, it's got a spring design, a leaf spring design, you know, kind of similar to a leaf spring in a car, where it's going to connect in the front and the back of the top plate. And also I have these flat cylindrical bottom feet on it, so I'm going to soft mount this with rubber grommets. That way this is soft mounted on top of the plate, and also it has the leaf spring effect, and hopefully that's going to make a big difference. So I mean, time will tell. It looks like the con of this will be, if in a bad crash, I will probably end up snapping one of these leaves on one end or the other. So in a bad enough crash, there's a risk of losing the camera, but you know, that's a risk that I'm willing to take for the footage, as long as the footage comes out better. So let's take a look at the print, and then we'll get some test footage. Okay, so now this is it mounted, and I'm very happy with it. The dimensions were right on the first shot. So just to give you a quick breakdown of what it's doing, okay? As you see, like I mentioned before, it's got that leaf spring effect on it. So it's got a little bit of dampering just by its design itself. And then what I did was I used rubber O-rings on the top and bottom of each post. So it's isolated on top and bottom from the vibration from the motors and the craft itself. So hopefully with this setup, between this isolation, the spring, and then I'm gonna use soft Velcro here like I had, it will make a big difference with the Jello. So let's see what it does in flight.
They're gonna clean up your looks with all the lies in the books to make a citizen out of you. Because they sleep with a gun and keep an eye on you, son, so they can watch all the things you do. Because the drugs never work, they're gonna give you a smirk, cause they got methods of keeping you clean. They're gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds. Another cog in the murder machine. They set out teenagers scare the living shit out of me. They can care less as long as someone will bleed. So darken your clothes, I'll strike the violent pose. the awful names at the stick. You're never gonna fit in much, kid. But if you're troubled and hurt, what you got under your shirt will make them pay for the things that they did. They said